Hi everyone, it's Gus here. I'm a stop motion professional living and working in the UK with experience in theatre and circus. This is my YouTube channel where I'll post videos relating to my industry experience as well as pop culture and whatever I feel like on any given day. It's all very casual because I'm just sort of easing into it, and I watch a lot of shows on YouTube and I prefer the ones that are more relaxed. But just, it gives you that environment where you can sit down, get on with your work, and listen to someone, who's in a given industry talk about something that relates to you. I quite enjoy that. So, to keep it quite light, I'm going to start off this first video on something that I'm not really that interested in, but I think has potential. But, I'll work with this and see where it goes, and, see what I can evolve this kind of channel into. So the subject of this sort of podcast, or whatever you call it, would be my thoughts on the Batman sort of franchise. And I thought I chose Batman because it's something that I can't really get away from, but I'm constantly bombarded with Batman films and all the rest of it, especially for me because I'm involved in a lot of the pop culture side of things. The animation industry, people talk about it all the time, and I'm sort of left there having to, overhear conversations. You go into comic shops and I'm an artist as well, so I'm looking at the artwork, and Sean Gordon Murphy was one I knew from the American Vampire series, and now he's doing Batman. He's really into Batman now, doing his own spin on Batman. I can't be asked, all these people who make films and stuff who I've admired for years working on Batman related stuff, and it's I can't get away from it, so I have to face up to it, and I suppose this video is me doing that in a way. For me, and this is going to be quite controversial, I guess, is my preferred Batman and Robin film to many of the films. Not all. I think Batman Begins was the best one. But for the fun of Batman, the childlike elements, I think that one was the best. It had just, I suppose it had less of Batman, I suppose. It had Robin and Robin's perspective. It had, I really liked the Alicia Silverstone, is it? Her perspective in the film of someone who's, doesn't know who Bruce Wayne is and finds out, and then she finds out she's got this whole costume and everything. That was really fun. But a lot of the fun, I think, I need to see the first series from like the 60s or whatever, but I think that's something missing, really. A lot of Batman is just too kind of miserable and morbid, and I thought that I think that really the hero should really be the Joker, and really the villain should be Batman, for me, if I was going to do my take. I suppose that's in some way similar to Sean Gordon Murphy, but I've always thought that, in that obviously my background is being in the circus, and a lot of it, I suppose, my interest in Batman and Robin was sort of came from you're watching that film with some of the other circus kids in the caravan. You'd have a sleepover, and it'd be Saturday morning or whatever. You'd be doing a matinee on Saturday afternoon. You'd have a sleepover on the Friday night. You do the show, sleepover, and then Saturday morning you'd be watching Batman and Robin on the TV. And when you're with circus kids, these kids are acrobatic. They can do the stuff you're watching in the movies. So it's really fun to watch something like Batman and Robin, and you can really identify with Batman and Robin because they're these really cool characters doing flips and somersaults and sliding across the backs of museum dinosaurs and all the rest of it. It was just good experiences. I think I never saw the end of the film. I think I was with them, and I think it was a Sunday morning, and my dad came. I had to go off to church, so I missed out on that ending, but didn't miss out on much, really. I saw it recently, and it wasn't but it's nothing special, really. It's not really an adult film. It's a kids movie, really, but everything I like about it is in that film, because it does focus on more the fun, the circus, entertainment, and what I never liked about Batman was the fact that the Joker, sort of the circus elements, were depicted as evil and kind of sinister. I've never liked that depiction of clowns being villainous. Not a big fan of it either. It's not good for kids to see that, because when you're a kids entertainer like myself, I do a lot of weekend work. Kids get kind of put off by that, which is frustrating when you're trying to get more work and you have a kid there scared because they've seen a It poster somewhere or a Joker poster somewhere, and you're like, I'm not a clown, I'm a blue modeler, or I'm not a clown, or I'm a magician. You have to go with other things. But yeah, so I'd definitely say that if you did something, I was thinking if you did something where either the Joker was the hero, he doesn't kill anyone, obviously, he's a good character, and he's just a relaxed character, he's just there to entertain, and then there's this villainous, what would you say, a sort of a likable villain in that you can understand his backstory, but he's still a villain, in that he's this rich guy who has all these important opinions and important views on the world and how the world should be, and goes out being a vigilante, scaring the bad guys, and that's what he ought to do, scare everyone. And then it's like, maybe he's up against the hero, who's the Joker, who's just someone who's just a nice guy, comedian, entertains kids, and chill. Doesn't go around trying to prove a point and beat up people he disagrees with or whatever. He's just does what he does. I thought that might be a more interesting story, or at least a story where it starts out with the traditional kind of Batman or Batman and Robin kind of situation in the movie, and then it kind of transitions towards the end where the Joker's a character where he's a good guy, doesn't do anything bad, obviously, in this version of the universe, and the Batman kind of learns from him. He meets him occasionally and kind of goes, maybe this guy's got a point. The Joker's might be in a circus, and then by the end of the film, Batman learns to just let go of the whole vigilante kind of thing and just perform in a circus, and it ends with him joining the Joker, and they're performing in a circus, and Batman's on the flying trapeze, naturally, because that seems naturally what Batman want to do. You can keep the name Batman, it says here's the amazing Batman, and he's on the trapeze. Instead of being with all geared up with his stuff, he could be just in his just in a black unitard, whatever, and he's there hanging by his toes on a trapeze, and the Joker's there goofing around. On the trapeze shows, you'd always have the clown kind of, you'd have the professional doing it right, and you have the clown doing it wrong, which is always entertaining for kids and families and everyone. And then you could have, you could play on that. You could have Selena Kyle as the Catgirl, as the girl on the silks or something like that. There's hoops, rings, juggler. You could play with all the characters. You could have the Mr. Freeze as the technician who works the dry ice on the smoke machine. There's all sorts of stuff you could do with that, and I don't know, that seems like a better resolution to what Batman is. I've not been a fan of kind of the misery and more. I mean, no one should live in Gotham. You see the series Gotham, and you watch the shows and Batman comics and such, and you just think, what? You'd just move out of Gotham. Why would you live there? It's just a kind of a miserable place, really. Move out to the countryside, maybe, or just move out to whatever out of the city in the DC universe there are. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of my view on it. I mean, a lot of what I like about Batman is just from nostalgia of being with me old friends, and especially in those old days of being in the circus where you could watch the funner side of Batman, him sliding down the back of a dinosaur in the museum scene in Batman and Robin is just like, that's for me what Batman should be. And ironically, that's the bit that's sort of made fun of most of the time. I mean, I saw the Christopher Nolan trilogy was like okay, but I mean, I preferred the first one. Was fun. It was the gadgets and kind of a ninja movie. So you could go two ways. Either go Batman Circus, which is fun and light, and he learns to be less broody and morbid and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the Tim Burtons for those same reasons. Quite morbid stuff, bad clowns and all the rest of it. But or you could go Batman the Ninja, which is what I liked about Batman Begins. But then it kind of, I'm really not a fan of Dark Knight at all, and that's very unpopular opinion. But people rave on and on and on about Dark Knight. I saw it with my sister, and like I remember just coming out and going to the bathroom, and I looked at my face and I was like frowning. I was just like, what gloomy movie, and I just didn't. Oh god, it had a great bicycle chase, some great effects. I'd say that motorcycle scene is fantastic, but again, that relates to the circus. It with the bits that are less Batman and more performance circus fun is where it goes well. And the third one was just sort of kind of a splice between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, really. So it didn't offer me anything new for me, although it did have some fun sequences throughout, which was, I suppose, a good. I haven't seen it in a while. To be fair, I haven't seen the third one in a long time, so my views might change on it. The second one I had to see over and over and over again because I worked in a cinema, and it would just be, I'd take the string and I'd have to work on the Dark Knight film, and I'd rip all the tickets, and then I'd have to walk into the screening and sit there making sure everyone's being good and not putting their feet on the seats or anything, and having to sit through the Joker, was it the Joker scene? Yeah, everyone raves on about. What's it, the one with the pencil, make this pencil disappear, and everyone's joking about it when I'm at Games Workshop that weekend. It's like, oh god, sick of it. I'm just just never liked it. So yeah, I think that's wraps it up really. Tim Burton, obviously, I shouldn't really say I don't enjoy his Batman movies because he's a big character in the stop motion industry, which is my industry. So hopefully doesn't hear this, and potentially, well, if he makes another film, he's only made 3. Obviously with is it Frankenweenie Corpse Bride, and he had some involvement in obviously the story and the visuals of Nightmare Before Christmas. I think that was mostly Henry Selick, who's still going strong, still doing stuff. So we'll have to see. Hopefully I don't get vetoed from any future projects for saying this. His last 2 films have been UK based, so yeah, if he does another stop motion film in the UK, I might be in trouble. But not a huge fan of the Batman, Tim Burton's sort of stuff. So the whole 1940s aesthetic, not even 1940s, it's the 1920s, isn't it? The detective comics, the detective kind of aspect. It's I don't know, it's just too like he wants to fight villainy with sort of miserableness and villainy. I don't know, it works when he's a ninja. I like the ninja element of Batman, which is Batman Begins, basically just pure Batman Begins. It's just Batman the ninja, which I think's great, or Batman the circus kind of performer entertainer, which is leaning more into, in some ways, the cartoon, and Batman and Robin, the great sets and fantastic costume design in that, and some fun characters to lead you into the universe, which is I'd say the Alicia Silverstone's character, Batgirl, and what's his name, Robin, the actor who played Robin in the film. So yeah, that's my views on Batman, which is not something I'm really hugely into, but I just thought, hey, there's got to be a first video, and I thought Batman was good because it led into a lot of, Batman's everywhere nowadays. You have the Joker film and all the rest of it, and you have obviously it's been around for ages. A lot of my childhood is having friends rave on about Batman. Watching Batman with the circus kids was a very clear memory. I can remember that quite clearly. Yeah, if you like this, please like the video and subscribe. I know this is the only one so far, but who knows? This is sort of an experiment and seeing where this can all go. Yep, see ya.